Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, then thank you so much for tuning in to today's reading video. I've been feeling a lot of powerful messages coming through lately. So there is so much ground that I want to cover in today's reading video. And it's really late at night while I'm recording this. So it kind of sets a beautiful tone for the energy and the messages that are going to be coming through. And I just realized that I forgot to grab my journal where I have been journaling through some of these insights as they've been coming through in the morning. So I'm going to get that now and I will be right back. So I'm back, but I want to also let you know that something kind of strange happened in that little interim where I was grabbing my journal and I came back and then I have a cup of peppermint tea and I actually bumped the table a little bit and spilled some of it. And immediately my guides came through with the message that this energy that we're going to be tapping into in this reading. Now, of course, this is a collective reading. So what that means is I might ultimately end up channeling into many different people and energies. So we will just see what wants to come up. But the first energy that we're going to be starting with is most likely a person. It doesn't have to be, but I feel like this is an energy that comes in to kind of sabotage you. And you may actually even notice, just like I bumped the table and spilled some of my tea, the moment that I was literally thinking about channeling into this energy, I feel that I'm hearing anytime you give this person or thing some of your time or energy or attention or allow them to trigger you in some way, it's almost like you can feel it sabotaging you. And even beyond that, my guides are kind of even correcting me and saying, you don't even have to respond to it. There may be times where you can literally sense, even like before you hear from this person or before they enter your life or whatever, it's almost like you start to feel the sabotage and you can like feel their energy like psychically or somehow like telepathically. And it may even actually sabotage you in small ways, or I'm hearing derail you from your life purpose or from whatever it is that you are desiring to do or accomplish, specifically when it comes to your daily productivity or you taking big steps or leaps of faith towards your goals. Because there's something about you really being on fire, really living in alignment with yourself, with your purpose, beginning to take steps in that direction. And then it's like this energy swoops in and I'm hearing tries to pull you back into the past. Maybe this is a past version of you. For some of you, if this isn't a literal external person, this may actually be an aspect of yourself. And this could actually be some part of you that, or like an outdated part of you that is triggered and trying to pull you back into control or into restriction or like more of a lack mentality or like distracting you from your purpose or from this like upgraded version of you. Now, again, for most of you, I have to say, I'm really feeling like this is a literal person from your past. And what I wrote down is they can't reach you. Your frequency has shifted. So yes, you may feel that like when this person's energy reaches your consciousness or when you pick up on it psychically, that you are somehow kind of getting derailed or like things in your life are being slightly sabotaged. But the truth is this person or energy can't actually reach you. And I actually get this message of reassurance that even when they do try to come in and sabotage you, it's nothing more than like a slight irritant or a slight disruption, and you get yourself right back on track. So they really don't have like that kind of power in your life. I actually wrote down grasping at straws, like someone is grasping for something, like reaching desperately to find something that they can use as like an end to your energy or to your life. But I feel like you have these very clear and firm walls up. So maybe you literally set clear boundaries with this person or with this energy. Or for some of you, I'm hearing your focus is your boundary. So you may have just decided to refocus yourself or your energy in some way. And that's creating this natural wall, this natural boundary. But what I'm picking up is that this person is reaching for some kind of control over you, but I'm getting the word illusion. Like this person has no control over you. They have an illusion of control or an illusion of being able to affect you in some way, but they quite literally cannot reach you, I'm hearing, from their current frequency, because their current frequency is based in control. And actually, there is an underlying fear beneath that control. There is a fear of, I got the name like Kate and the name Keith. Those could be someone's name, or I'm just getting letter initials like 𝘬𝘵𝘐. I'm also getting L-A. I think I already said A, but yeah, those are some letters coming through. Keep in mind that whenever I channel into specific names, dates, details, etc., these are typically meant for specific individuals. So don't worry if they don't connect with you personally. But I keep getting that this energy, this person is trying to find some kind of pathway to access you. But what the guides are saying is that they're going through the wrong channel. So they're trying to connect with you from an energy of fear or from control. And I actually feel, I'm hearing this is going to get very complex, but what I'm hearing is that you were sent as a messenger spiritually into this person's life. And I'm hearing to reroute them, to get them back on track. So this is a person who my guides are calling them a lost soul. And of course, no one is completely lost. But what I mean by that is this is someone who became lost in the sense that they became very disconnected from their higher self, from their most authentic version of self. They really began to close their heart. I'm hearing someone say like, I haven't cried or I haven't like felt a genuine emotion in years. I almost feel like this is someone who was so emotionally self-disconnected prior to meeting you or reconnecting with you that they had almost entirely lost the ability to even like feel their own emotions. As strange as that sounds, it's like this is someone who had disconnected from their own emotional experience and was essentially living their life on autopilot. When they met you, or for some of you, this was someone you reconnected with, in either case, this point of meeting with you like burst open their heart chakra on an energetic level. And it caused them to feel everything all at once. And this was actually meant to redirect them or reroute them. And I'm getting the word angel. Like from some perspective, they felt like you were almost this angel that was sent into their life to give them some kind of divine direction, whether they would put it in those words or not. I feel like on some level, this person perceives you as this angelic kind of being. And if they're being honest with themselves, although right now I feel like they're in this like lashing out or like triggered state, so they most likely wouldn't say this right now in their human form. But I feel like if they were truly being honest with themselves on a soul level, they would admit that meeting or reconnecting with you was nothing short of a spiritual experience for them. And on a deeper, more personal level, it actually began to connect them with like a source of inspiration and motivation and genuine love, but not just love. They were feeling other things as well. I'm getting the word grief. There may have been certain things from this person's past that they had never grieved, or even certain fears that they never felt, because I'm hearing the love came with a lot of other emotions as well that they weren't prepared for. You broke open their heart chakra in such a way, just through your existence, just through being yourself, just through being around this person. Your heart is so open that it naturally broke open this person's heart chakra in such a way where they began to feel a full spectrum of emotions, not just love. Although if this was or is romantic for you, this person absolutely felt that romantic love for you to a degree like nothing they've ever felt before, but I'm getting that they also felt other extremes of emotions that may have had nothing to do with you, but also could have ultimately been projected onto you if they were left unprocessed. So what I mean by that is you may have opened this person's heart in such a way that, like, yes, the heart is where we feel love energy, but it's also the emotional processor of our energy body just in general. So all of our emotions get processed. I mean, yes, to some extent we process and feel emotions all over through our whole physical body. We can store emotions different places in the body. We can feel them through different energy centers, but the heart is the number one processor of our emotions. So I'm hearing when we prevent ourselves from feeling pain or grief that's surfacing for us, we also cap out our ability accordingly to feel love. And that's what was happening with this person. They closed off their heart to feeling love as a byproduct of them closing their heart so that they wouldn't have to feel some kind of grief or pain or unprocessed negative emotion. But when you came into their life, it did the opposite. It opened them up to feeling both the love, yes, that was like sending them on some kind of a high. It was like nothing they've ever felt before, but also you opened them up to feeling the grief that they never allowed themselves to feel. For some of them, I feel there was like a lot of anger that was bottled up as well in connection with maybe feeling hurt or abandoned in the past, even as a child, in ways that they never allowed themselves to acknowledge or process. But what I'm hearing is every bit of that emotion that came up for this person actually got projected on you. And so I feel you became the scapegoat. It's like this person idealized you when they were feeling that love emotion and connecting that with you. Like, whoa, since I met you, I was broken open to feeling all of this love. But now I feel like this person is at a point of also blaming you for like all of the hurt and the grief and the pain and the anger that they're feeling, even though it has nothing to do with you. I feel like they're projecting all of that onto you as well because of how you open their heart to so much love. It's like they just haven't put together those pieces yet. They don't realize it's not that you were intentionally trying to get them to feel all of this negative emotion. It's that your presence opens hearts because you are living with your heart open. And so when you entered or re-entered their life, yes, it brought up all of those stuffed down emotions in the heart chakra because you opened their heart, not because you wanted to cause them any kind of pain. But I somehow feel like you are now in this state of them trying to make you the scapegoat for the negative spectrum of emotions that you opening their heart has brought up within them, instead of them doing the emotional processing work for those negative emotions that they are meant to be doing. And I'm hearing the words last chance, because what I'm getting is the guides surrounding this situation gave this person many chances, and you yourself may have given this person many chances because you were sensing that guidance from the spirit realm, from the spirit guides surrounding this connection. I'm actually hearing that there were specific guides in the spirit realm that were assigned particularly to this person's connection with you. It's like you both have your own personal guides, but you also had guides that were assigned to the connection, to the both of you. And that is most likely why you felt so pulled to continue giving this person more chances when it didn't make sense and was definitely you making some kind of exception. The sense I get is that for a while you felt like you were caught in some kind of cycle or loop, even though you were completely aware of it. Like you knew that you were caught in a loop with this person that was just repeating itself, where it's almost like they would maybe ask for forgiveness or want to reconnect with you or be in your life. And then that would work for a while. And then they'd get triggered and wouldn't process what your proximity was bringing up for them emotionally. And so they would project it onto you. You would set boundaries and pull back. And then the cycle would repeat itself. And typically you would have no tolerance for this kind of cycle, because you have very strong boundaries. You're very divinely protected. And I feel like this just isn't the kind of dynamic that you would allow into your sanctuary, into your life. But for some reason, I feel you felt guided to allow this pattern or loop to replay itself for a period of time. And in a sense, that was sacred in and of itself, because it was you actually listening to a higher guidance unconsciously. Like your intuition was telling you, wait, give this person another chance. Give this person another try to do this right, or to show up correctly, or to do the emotional processing. And I do feel that for a while, this person kind of teetered between opening and closing their heart. Like, you would see these glimmers and flashes of this person really beginning to reconnect with their emotions and to be a bit more introspective and to start to do the work, but then they would shut down again. But there was a lot of grace given to this person. There were many chances given, but now I'm hearing like the last chance, at least for now, has passed. And you felt that shift, because I'm getting that you finally just felt done. And that was your intuition saying it's time to close the door, at least for now. That's not to say that this person can't ever reconnect with you. What it is saying is that now, if they want to access you, they're going to have to go through a higher channel. Because like I said earlier, they are still trying to access you through lower channels, through channels of like triggering you or connecting to you from fear or codependency or lack mentality or control. And they are no longer going to be able to have any kind of access to you through those lower channels. So essentially what this closing of the door is saying isn't that the two of you are never allowed to ever speak or communicate or interact or reconnect. What it's saying is that if they want to connect with you, they're going to genuinely have to come through a higher channel. What I'm also hearing is they're not going to be able to fake it, because what I'm getting is that there have been times where this person has kind of tried to put on a face of showing up in that higher energy in the way that they would approach you or try to connect with you or reach out to you. And in those instances, your intuition immediately could sense that there was something incongruent about their energy, meaning the energy beneath, I'm hearing the energy hooks, like there were hooks of energy beneath this like seemingly surface level nicety, and your intuition was picking up on that incongruence, that difference between how they were trying to re-enter your life or communicate with you and what they were actually feeling energetically. You could feel the way that they were just trying to hook you back in. And so you didn't respond to that. You're very, very adept at reading energy. So if this person does want a chance to reconnect with you, they could only do so by genuinely doing the inner work to put themselves organically in that higher energy. It's not something that they can fake. It's not something that they can put on. They would have to genuinely raise their own frequency to your level. And I can't emphasize that enough, because it sounds so simple, but it's so profound. Because this person has been trying to like do or say the right things or make it seem like they've done the work so that they can connect with you or hold some kind of control over you or have you in their life in some way. But Spirit is saying they're not going to be able to fake it, because your intuition is going to be able to sense it. And so I feel that on your end, you've really been guided to not betray yourself whatsoever, meaning just because this person is doing or saying the right things on the surface doesn't mean you owe them a reconnection. If your intuition is telling you something is still off about this, I don't feel right about this doesn't feel aligned, you have every right to simply hold your silence. And in fact, I'm getting that in many cases, your silence is creating a necessary echo chamber for this person where they are going to be able to see and feel and hear their own energy more clearly. And that's actually essential for their self-reflection. It's important for them to be in this so-called echo chamber so that they can finally look at themselves more clearly. And I feel that they were given many chances to do that introspection work more in your presence or in communication with you, but they kept trying to offload it onto you. That's just like the sense that I keep picking up on here. So, wow, I didn't expect the first full 20 minutes of the reading to be devoted to this particular energy, but it was just coming up so strongly. So I do want to go ahead and move forward with the reading, although I feel that this is related, but I want to share with you some of the other things that I wrote down. I only wrote down a couple more things, but what I wrote is you're actively liberating energy that's been kept under guilt and perfectionism. And I also wrote the words emotional manager role. And I said, for someone listening, this is something that you had as a child that has stayed with you as a pattern. This emotional manager role, feeling as though it is your responsibility. I actually called it over-responsibilizing love, feeling as though you are over-responsible for other people's feelings and reactions, especially their reactions to you. And I'm hearing that for many of you, what this caused for you, because I'm hearing from a young age, you were expected, I'm hearing because you had the capacity to, because you were so empathic, because you were so sensitive, because you were so in tune spiritually, even as a child, you were essentially expected to manage the energies and emotions of the room, of the people around you, of maybe even your parents or family members, just depending on your circumstances. And so what I'm getting is that when it's come to love and connection, for so long, there's been such a sacral chakra blockage here for you that you are now healing in such a powerful way. And this blockage in your sacral chakra actually denied you the ability to, and I know this sounds extreme, but for whoever I'm speaking to here, this really feels relevant for you. It feels like a lived experience for someone. I feel that this sacral chakra blockage, this blockage created from this need to be the emotional manager. And I say need because when you're a child, the things that the adults or the people around you tell you to do or want you to do, even if they aren't necessarily healthy emotional ways of relating for you long term, they feel like needs because as a child, you are naturally codependent. So pleasing and appeasing the people around you feels like a need. It feels essential in a sense for your own survival when you are a child. And so I feel that this need to manage the emotions of people around you translated into this sacral blockage that prevented you from actually genuinely being able to just let loose and experience beautiful, passionate moments of connection. And when I say that, I'm not just talking about romantic connection, although of course, yes, that is one aspect of this, but I'm talking even just connectedness to like the present moment, to just like the present moment unfolding of your life, because I feel like you've always felt this need to monitor every detail of yourself, of your life, of how you're interacting with others, that it makes it difficult to just let go and enjoy the unfolding, enjoy the moment. For some reason, I got the scene of someone hosting some kind of like house party or dinner party or like a housewarming thing. And I see them like going around making sure everyone has what they need and that they're comfortable and that they know like where the food is and the silverware and that like they're getting all their needs met and they're rushing around, but they themselves aren't even able to enjoy this like beautiful party, this beautiful gathering. And I feel that metaphorically, this is how so much of your life has felt, where so much of your time has been expended monitoring or trying to make sure that other people are having a good time or feeling okay or that they're okay with you. And I feel that for so long that prevented you from just the delicious experience of life itself, just allowing yourself to be connected to your own body, to the present moment, to how you're genuinely feeling yourself beneath anyone else's feelings or reactions. And so I feel that this is coming up because you've reached some kind of milestone in this healing process where, like I wrote down, you're actively liberating this energy that's been stuck, this energy of like feeling the weight of everyone else's responses and reactions to you, and even just their own feelings about themselves, the weight of this perfectionism, feeling like everything has to be a certain way for others in order for you to enjoy it yourself, instead of just letting yourself immerse in the unfolding of the present moment And I feel like this is something massive that you're healing. And as this heals, it may actually bring up a lot of emotion for you because you're going to realize how much you've denied yourself of like genuine happiness and freedom and connection in the past. But I also want to say that it's so beautiful you're doing this work because even if it feels like, wow, I can't believe I've been denying myself all of this, know that most people deny themselves all of that their entire lives. They never learn how to give themselves this kind of freedom, how to genuinely tap into this kind of like present moment, free flowing happiness that you're tapping into now. So this truly is monumental. I'm hearing it's actually changing the frequency of planet Earth. And the best way that I can describe that process, like how you doing this work is changing the planetary frequency, is that whenever you unlock a new frequency within yourself, so when you reach a new depth of love, even like for yourself, or a new peak of passion or joy or excitement or fulfillment, whenever you reach a new height of like a frequency or a new depth of some kind of feeling, even if you never speak it or share it with anyone, it transmits an energy into the ether that now the collective has access to. Not to say that they will always choose to align with that frequency, but they can now more easily access it themselves because you essentially mined the code, like you unlocked the code. I don't think I've ever described it as like mining, but it's like you're mining for these light codes, so to speak, these frequencies, these energies, and then releasing them out into the world through letting yourself feel them or letting yourself embody them. And from then on out, other people can more easily access that frequency if they choose to align with it. And so it's a massive gift to humanity because I'm hearing even once you shift a pattern within yourself and you come into some kind of breakthrough internally, a breakthrough in your healing process, a breakthrough in maybe something you're journaling about or something you're thinking about, the moment you have that breakthrough, you not only shift your own frequency, you literally shift the frequency for the whole collective because the moment that you put those pieces together for yourself energetically, whatever it is for you, you release that into the ether energetically. And now others on the planet can more easily access that same breakthrough. So just as one example, let's say that you struggle your whole life to love your body, for instance, and you do so much healing work around this and you journal about it and you're maybe saying affirmations or like shifting your belief systems about your beauty and your body and embracing and loving yourself. When you tap into that energy of self-love in a moment and you really feel it, you embody it, you embrace it, even if you never verbalize it or share it with anyone, you literally release this like light code into the ether that now someone on the other side of the planet can more easily love their own body or embrace themselves in that way because you did it for yourself. And this is just one small example. I don't think I've ever talked about this in quantum terms. So I'm so excited that we've co-created this information. I do consider everything we share here like co-creations. So thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your own beautiful energy and frequency here with the channel. I just wanted to say that really quick. I'm feeling so much overwhelming gratitude for all of you, but know that the inner work that you do in secret is having a massive collective impact. And I'm so excited that we were able to put it into those more specific defined terms here in the reading. So I also wrote down, your inner self is beginning to speak louder than your inner caretaker. And I feel like that sums up so much of what we've just been talking about here, because essentially you are learning to value and to hear your true, authentic, organic inner voice instead of what I wrote down as your inner caretaker, the version of you that is monitoring other people or trying to see how they're feeling, how they're reacting to you, what's going on with them energetically. You're taking all of that and you're finally turning that beautiful, empathic, nurturing spirit that you've always had, that people have always known about you, even unconsciously. That's why they wanted you or like put you into this emotional manager role to begin with, because when you were a child, even people could sense that you had this ability. They could sense that you were deeply empathic. They could sense that you were tapped into these unseen realms that they themselves couldn't fully understand. So they kind of thrust you into that role because, ironically, even though they may have never given you verbal conscious credit for your empathic gifts or abilities, or maybe even kind of dismissed those abilities consciously, unconsciously, they fully understood them and they fully valued them and saw the value in them, and then tried to use that value to make you into a caretaker for themselves or for people around you. But you are unlearning all of that. You are unraveling all of that. And like we said before, this isn't just an unraveling for you. It's for the planet as well. The last thing I wrote in my journal is your expansion is outpacing your old emotional conditioning. This is a quantum leap in emotional integration. So if at times you're feeling a lot of emotions coming up here, and you're thinking, whoa, where did that come from? I'm suddenly thinking of these moments in my childhood or from my past where I felt alone or misunderstood or like I was caretaking, and it's bringing up like anger or grief or whatever the case is. You have to understand that this is part of the healing process, that what you're feeling, you're actually healing. You're releasing it. You're not feeling emotion that is stuck within you. You're feeling it as it's being released. Just like if you press on a point of tension in the body, you may feel a temporary discomfort, but then in the release, you may actually feel a massive release of tension that was being stored there. In the same way, sometimes we feel emotions we haven't felt in a long time or maybe ever as they are actually being released from our being. And I feel that that is happening for so many of us right now, but it's a beautiful process. And I know that it's messy at times. I know that it's nonlinear. I feel like there's so much more that we could say on this, and I would love to speak more on all of this in future videos. But for now, it is getting late here, and I still want to record our extended reading, so I am going to close this first reading here. I really hope something connected with you, and if there's anything that you'd like to share with me or with our community, then feel free to leave a comment under this video. And if you would like to join me in the extended reading, we will be continuing this reading video, so I don't really know what's going to come up there. We will just channel back into the energies. I may actually pull some tarot cards in that reading, since this was one of those rare readings where the messages just flowed and we didn't even need to use the cards. And I really attribute that to all of you who are here and the powerful energy that you bring to these readings. So thank you again for being here. Again, the link to the extended reading is under the video. But otherwise, I hope you have an amazing rest of your week, and I will connect with you here again in Friday's reading.